Good morning, Crosspoint, and happy Wednesday morning to you. It's actually Tuesday here. I am at Martha's house with my family. We're taking some time off for the week and just getting some R&R. But it's good to be with you. I trust that you are well, that you're doing okay, that you're sensing God's pleasure in your life right now. And today I'm with Rob Davis. He is next to me. And we're going to be doing a little bit of an interview about Martha's house since we're down here. And this is actually our second year being here. And I think that some of you Crosspointers have been here, or at least have heard of Martha's house. And so I want to kind of press into this a little bit and explore what's going on here. But before I do, I just want to say, as I was thinking about, the video today and this morning, I think all of us want to make a difference. Like, we all want to serve Jesus with the gifts, the talents that we have. And we don't all do it in the same way. Like, we serve Jesus in different ways because we have different gifts and different talents, different callings. But I think it is true that every Christian really does want to make a difference. And so I'm going to kind of dial in on Martha's house, and we want to see kind of how the Davises are making a difference. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Rob some questions, and then we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation. And so Rob, thanks for allowing me to interview you today. So I guess my first question for you, and regrettably Pat can't be with us today, but you're obviously representing Team Davis today. But Rob, what is Martha's house?
Well, it's an old farmhouse that we acquired back in 2012, and a lady by the name of Martha was living here at the time, and we bought it while she was still living here. And we'd started buying land around here in 1995 and started accumulating acres. I'd always wanted land. One of our first dates was to look at some land in an old cabin. And but anyhow, after Martha passed away and we took possession of the house, she had not been in good health. Cobwebs were clear to the floor upstairs. She hadn't been up there in about 3 years. Things were rather rough and quite different than they are now. But I'd put a roof on it and a new electrical service when we first bought it, just to keep it dry and safe. But we started remodeling, not knowing what we was going to do with it. We knew that it was not usable the way it was, really. And so as we started remodeling, the Spirit spoke to Pat and I both that it should be used for ministry somehow. And we didn't really know how that would look. And originally I was thinking that it would be a home for missionaries to come home on furlough.
Sure.
And spend several months living here. And as time went by and we kept doing things, it came more to Pat that it should be for shorter term. And our hearts both came together on the idea of having a ministry to people in ministry. We wanted a place that was done with excellence. It is cleaned each time with excellence. And so when a pastor or a missionary or a parachurch organization, a ministry, a pregnancy center does a seminar here, whatever it is, we like them to feel like they're the first ones that got to stay here when they walk in the door. That it has that, we want it to be top rate, and our ministry is to minister to people in ministry. Elders groups come here and meet. Sometimes just a single pastor will come by himself just to be in communion with the Lord. A lot of people walk in here and feel the Spirit. So they have told us. And we have a little guest book that if we ever get discouraged, we just open that up and read a few pages, and we're quickly pumped back up and ready to go in ministry again.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
I got to say, when Rob says that his goal, or Rob and Pat's goal, is to do things with excellence, like, that's the vibe that I get. I've been here, this is my third time. I was here with Pastor Bruce once last summer. But things are done well here, and it's refreshing, and you know you're being taken care of. So, and I also say that even as I have walked around the property, there is a sense of peace here and wholeness that is refreshing to the soul. So, absolutely, Rob, I got to confirm that at a personal level. So, so we talked a little bit about what Martha's House is and its function. He talked a little bit about how kind of the idea came of it being for those in ministry. So, I mean, something like this, like it's done well. Like there's, I took a couple of shots this morning. I think I'm going to try to splice them to the video, but it's a nice property and the barn's beautiful. And as you look at it, I'm thinking like it takes some resources to take care of it. Can you kind of push into how is Martha's House financed? How's it supported? How does it work from that standpoint?
Right. Well, the Lord has blessed us. I used to have my own business. I had the Davis Water Treatment, and we did well at that. It was a successful business, and in process of selling that yet today, and it's doing well and growing. And I'll put a plug in there, looking for a couple new service technicians too.
Okay.
Put a plug out there if anybody's looking for work.
All right.
And then the oil and gas business started down here some years ago, and the Lord has blessed us through that. This is in the shale, the Utica shale play, and so we've had a couple pipelines go across us, and
Sure.
we've been paid for those things, and so we have been able to do everything here out of pocket. From the remodeling, I will say that when we was remodeling, at one point we did run out of money, and was to the point where I had started applying for loans, and found out that someone my age on Social Security does not get very big loans real easily, without what they consider a real job type income. Had other assets, but any rate, we didn't need it. The Lord provided every step of the way. He did just what we needed, and so now, as of this year, we formed an LLC, the Martha House Ministry. It's a not-for-profit, and so that in this way now we can basically give money to a charitable foundation, and the foundation then can pay us and get reimbursed for running the Martha House, so that we at least the money that is being spent here now is going to be a tax deduction for 2020. Prior to that, it's been basically just out of our pocket, and so at least we're going to start getting a tax deduction for this year.
Now, those who come and stay here also have the option of giving, right?
Yes, and yeah, we tell people if they want to give a donation, they're welcome to, but we do not feel that it is necessary by any means, and if they're not in a position, we still want them to come, and oftentimes they do leave some money. It probably doesn't. It usually doesn't cover the cleaning, let alone everything else. Not to. I don't want to belittle it. I mean, I appreciate every dollar, but it's just there's a lot. Yeah. If we've had a big crowd in here, it takes running 2 wash machines and 2 dryers and 2 ladies 8 to 10 hours to get this place back in order.
Wow.
Get the laundry all done. And Pat is particular. The pillowcases are ironed, and in case you boys have you guys have never slept on a pillowcase that's been ironed, you have now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one final question, Rob, is Martha's House looking forward, and sometimes things develop as they develop, and you can't quite see where it's headed clearly. But where would you like to see Martha's House in 5 to 10 years?
Well, our idea is to have, I'm part of a Christian foundation, and through that we will hopefully have an endowment put aside. that endowment will be able to continue to run the Martha House.
Okay.
That is our goal, is to have enough money set aside so that the interest from that can keep this running and not being a burden to our kids, and that the kids can kind of take the reins and keep it going without having to get a second job.
Gotcha.
And the other goal is we charge nothing to anyone who stays here. As you mentioned, the donations. So, and that's quite different for even people in ministry. But our near future plans are probably to build another house just for this purpose over on the other side of the lake, where it'll be out of view of this house, but the people in that house will have a view of the lake, and that will open it up to larger ministry groups, or that place will probably have an apartment and a house, kind of and so we could have as many as 3 individual groups here at a time by having that over there. And so that's in the immediate plans right now. Good.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. I had a little interview with Rob Davis, representing Team Davis. And so if you've got questions about what's going on here beyond what we've talked about today, obviously, you know Rob, you feel free to reach out to Rob or Pat, and I'm sure they would love to follow up and give you more information as needed. But anyway, thank you, Cross Point, and Lord willing, we will see you Sunday. Thanks. Goodbye.